Proponents of democracy around the world mourned as they bid farewell to former Czech President Vaclav Havel. Havel helped lead the overthrow of communism and became President of Czechoslovakia after the Velvet Revolution of 1989. He passed away due to a long illness that he had to endure since his time in prison. The National Endowment for Democracy honors the life of humanitarian and former Czech President Vaclav Havel, who was a dissident during the communist era. Over 200 people attended the event, paying tribute to the world leader.
Natality that one associates with Havel.
The list of speakers at the National Endowment for Democracy consisted of world leaders, admirers,
for he also reminded us that the great power of a democracy and a democratic imagination does not come from a gun.
And friends, including former U.S. Secretary of State Madeleine Albright. Albright recalls the humble leader Havel, who had always defended human rights for all, including Burma's opposition leader Aung San Suu Kyi.
The best way for us to honor his memory is to carry on with his work. And I know from conversations in the past year that Havel was profoundly encouraged by the Arab Spring and by the promising, albeit fragile, developments in Burma, where he cared deeply about the success and well-being of Aung San Suu Kyi. And I must say that one of the great privileges of my life was to carry messages in peculiar ways between the two of them.
Havel was a supporter of Burma for decades. NED's president, Karl Gershman, said Havel used his voice to advance others' struggles for freedom. In 1991, he was a candidate to receive the Nobel Peace Prize and was very likely to win for leading the Velvet Revolution. However, he campaigned for Aung San Suu Kyi of Burma to be awarded instead, as he wanted to shine the light on Burma's fight for democracy.
And he made a decision. I don't need the Nobel Peace Prize. She needs the Nobel Peace Prize. And so he mobilized international support to get her the prize. He led the campaign for her to get the prize. And again, he did that with Liu Xiaobo in 2010. He really believed that you have to, he believed what Aung San Suu Kyi believes very deeply. He used his freedom to help hers. She said once, please use your freedom to help ours. He did that. When he was a dissident, he obviously fought for his own freedom, even though he had universal values. But once he succeeded, once he got the position of the president, he believed that it was his obligation to use his freedom to support people like Aung San Suu Kyi and Liu Xiaobo.
The Lady of Burma, Aung San Suu Kyi, had her own special message for her friend and prominent leader, Vaclav Havel.
How shall I begin paying tribute to a man like Vaclav Havel? He was a good friend. It's very, very difficult to pay adequate tribute to good friends. He was not only a good friend of Burma, he was a good friend of peoples all over the world who longed for freedom, who longed to lead their own lives in peace and security. He asked what help he could give. He continues to help us and will always continue to help us by the very fact that such a man as Vaclav Havel lived. I hope that because of him, relations between Burma and the Czech Republic, and not only that, but between lovers of democracy everywhere, will be the better and stronger.
Havel gave visibility to people struggling to fight for freedom around the world, and the National Endowment for Democracy held a memorable ceremony paying respect to the famous dissident. Kay Lin, Voice of America, National Endowment for Democracy, Washington.